Hi guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like my videos, press the like button. Alexa, what's the time, please?
I'm having trouble connecting to the
The time is 8:30 p.m.
It's 8:30 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. I've just come back from my mum's in Chatham. I've been up to the Co-op twice. The second time I went to get coffee because I'd run out of coffee this morning and I didn't get any. So I've got Nescafe 2-in-1 coffee as well. So I've been into the Co-op twice this evening. 2 times. So around my mum's, I watched a Ewan McGregor film, Scottish film, Scotland. Ewan McGregor's from, obviously. Young Adam, Ewan McGregor when he was younger, and there was a lot of nudity in it. I was watching it, and my mum was talking, and Ewan McGregor is butt naked in that film, Young Adam. And I kept covering the screen while my mum was talking to me because it had sexual activity and nudity, and Ewan McGregor was butt naked with everything showing in it. So it was funny because my mum was coming up and talking to me and I was blocking the screen so she couldn't see Ewan McGregor with it all hanging out. I took Max out for a walk around the back. I didn't see Barry. Sue was sat there smoking a fag on a chair, and I came back in because I can't tolerate smoking. I had a takeaway. Mum bought me a takeaway which came to £12, and it was an Englishman that gave my mum the takeaway, which was a burger, 1 burger, no dessert, and curry and chips and a bottle of mineral water. And she ordered that for me, and there was 2 people in that flat. I was sat there watching the telly, the Ewan McGregor film, while the delivery driver handed my mother Jennifer the takeaway bag. So I've eaten. There was no arguments whatsoever, although at times my mum did start to raise her voice and irritate me a bit when she started coughing like the man upstairs does, and I was not. She got a bit irritated with me because I went out to the seaside with my son the other day and my feet are sore and so are my hands, and she was asking me to lift the sofa and it was hurting me and I couldn't do it properly, and she started to get cross with me, not cross, angry, but irritated. Come on. And I really hurt from going to the beach the other day. I've got really sore feet and my hands hurt like hell, and I didn't feel well enough to pick things up, to be honest, and she was getting quite irritated with me, which was upsetting. But I didn't get angry with my mum. I let her talk for hours. She spoke for hours and hours and hours about my dad, what my dad did to her, over and over and over again. And I didn't get cross, I didn't get angry. I just sat there and listened to my mum talking for 6 hours. While I just sat there watching the telly and letting her vent and rant on about my father, saying that my father was a scammer. My father was a scammer, and it's funny that I've had £70 taken out of my bank account. So she said my dad Derek scammed people. She kept saying things to, like, taking the piss out of me, taking the mickey out of me. Oh, you like that, don't you, Ginestra? You'd do anything for that, wouldn't you, Ginestra? And, she's my mum. If she wants to go on and on and on and on, let her go on and on and on. She's an old lady. At one point, I went out into the back and shut the door for 2 minutes. She told me to stay outside for 10 minutes, where I heard people down the street where the bus stop is make rude noises. So I couldn't stay in the garden for 10 minutes. I came back in when she ordered me the taxi. I didn't hear what she said when she ordered the taxi because I was outside in the back. I watched 2 films round there, and one was about Ewan McGregor found a dead body floating in the river, Young Adam. The other one was a comedy with, who remembers Stifler? The guy who played Stifler out of American Pie was in it, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was a very dark comedy about suicide. So the guy that played Stifler was in it, a 41-year-old guy who felt like committing suicide. So I watched that. I mean, you don't know what the subject is of the film until you get into it. So I watched that, had the takeaway, and my mum asked me to pull the sofa out. So she took out a pair of pliers and a pair of scissors. She said that Derek attacked her with a pipe cleaner. So she pulled out a pipe cleaner and said it's metal, that, you know. So my father, Derek, supposedly attacked my mum with a pipe cleaner. So I'm stood there with my mum with a pair of pliers in her hand and a pair of scissors, talking about the way my dad was violent towards her. And I'm sat there and I'm thinking, oh my God. I was given a load of pennies and 5p's. I was given money, but at the end of the day, I've been given money and someone's taken money out of my bank account. So I really haven't gained any money because what I was given, someone's nicked out of my bank account. So I'm not very pleased, and I'm going to sort this out calmly and coolly. I can't do anything at the moment because the bank online people are closed. The bank online thing shuts at 8, well, the telephone line shuts at 8 for calls about debit and credit cards and whatnot. So I can't talk to anyone this evening. And I'm going to try and get this sorted out tomorrow because the only other thing to do is to put a stop on the bank card. I've looked through my bank. It's not a standing order because sometimes I've had that in my past with the NatWest. Somebody tried to set up standing orders and I had to keep going into the NatWest bank and stopping them. Last year, a food company kept taking money out for parcels I didn't order, so I had to go into the Barclays Bank in person and put a stop to that. I mean, £70 is a lot of money. That's my disability money that they've pinched. I hope they're proud of themselves. There's nothing more I can say. When I came home, there was post. This t-shirt is mine. Sense. Connecting sight, sound and life. A group of lads were coming out of the lift as I came into the building with all this, with the chair and everything, on a scooter. So some kids were coming out of the lift with a scooter while I was pulled it down so that I could get the chair and the bags in it. About 4 or 5 youths were in the lift when I came home. So we've got my name, flat 5, not 9. So Crystal Marshall, flat 5, not 9. Can you read that? So Crystal Marshall, flat 5, not 9. So that's come to me. And what is in this one? Good Fortune perfume sample. And I've just had money taken out of my bank account. Good Fortune. Oh, and my mum made a joke and said she'd been wearing my dad's retirement watch. My mother had been wearing my dad's retirement watch, but I don't believe this is the retirement watch because it hasn't got Derek Trower printed on the back unless it's rubbed off. My dad had his name printed on the back of the watch, so I don't believe this is my father's retirement watch from Victoria Road. I don't believe it, because my father had his name engraved on the back and it wouldn't rub off, would it? My mum told me that she was wearing my dad's retirement watch. That is not my dad's retirement watch. It's not, because his name was printed on the back of it. He'd worked at Brompton Barracks, I think, for about 25 years. He'd worked over 10 years, that's for sure, and his name was printed on the back of that watch. And it's not printed on the back of this one, it was engraved. My father's watch was engraved. I'm not stupid. I'm not thick. That is not my father's retirement watch. Sorry, but it's not. Perhaps my mum believes it's his retirement watch, but Dad showed me that retirement watch in a box and it was engraved with his name on the back. So I've been given things, but you know, I've had £70 taken out of my bank account. So you ask yourself, was it worth it? Was it really worth going through all that to come home and find all your money gone out of your bank account? Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. Because, I mean, someone thinks that they're going to get some entertainment with me going down the road to Barclays Bank tomorrow. All the kids are off school. It's going to be bloody packed and busy. And I'm supposed to be angry and upset. Well, no. I've got cash to get by, so there's no hurry. I don't have to rush or go anywhere in a hurry. It's pissing down with rain here in Rochester. This evening, I've got to take Max out yet.